It's 6 o'clock.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello and thanks for staying tuned. Do remember, collect your PVC vote. Your vote is your voice. Now, on the news this evening, Rivers State civil society organizations issued 2-week ultimatum to government to address petrol situation. National Judicial Council recommends appointment of 9 heads of courts, 84 judicial officers. Federal government bans strikes, riots around airports, and on the foreign scene, US to send advanced combat vehicles to Ukraine. I'm Adidayo Ilushakin. The Rivers State Civil Society Organization has issued a 2-week ultimatum to the government and relevant agencies to address the petrol price hike and scarcity in the state. Now, chairman of the organization, Enefa George Will, spoke to our correspondent shortly after a warning protest in Port Harcourt and urged the Department of State Security Services to meet with the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to fix the petrol issue. He accused the NNPC Limited of selling petrol to private depots, which has led to a hike in the price of petrol and more economic hardship for Rivers people. He said at the expiration of the ultimatum, civil society organizations will block the gate of NNPCL.
This is wicked, this is pathetic, and this is cruel because businesses are closing down. But our boys will not justification to go back at no fire. Not everybody rely on fuel. So once you touch the price of fuel, you have touched the price of everything on the NNPC. But if they fail to fix all of these crises, within 2 weeks, they are going to massify and shut down the NNPC. This is not a threat. This is what we can do. Having the security agencies, specifically the DSS, 2 weeks to fix this problem. They should meet with the NNPC to fix this problem. Otherwise, we're going to lead the mother of all protests and occupy the NNPC.
On his part, spokesperson of the CLO, Solomon Lanu, blamed the Rivers State government for refusing to monitor the activities of the filling stations in the state.
The president, who is the minister for petroleum, is not saying anything reasonable about the situation. The governor of this state, who is a very vocal person, who whenever he speaks, the whole country stands attention, is not saying anything to this problem because they don't feel the same problem that the common masses of Rivers State are feeling. And therefore, we are saying enough is enough. If the security agencies who have been doing everything to try to stamp down this action today does not come out with a veritable solution.
Lanu also spoke on his expectations from the committee set up by the presidency to address the current petrol situation across the country.
We are Nigerians, we've been here, and then we've seen time and time again where committees will be set up, a task force and all of those things will be set up, and at the end of the day, the aim for which they were organized or set will not be achieved. We want to be pleasantly surprised to see when this committee set up by the president will revert back the fuel pump prices to the normal thing it was supposed to be, and the Nigerian people stop suffering. We will be very pleased and very happy to see that. Personally, I don't expect anything much to come out of that committee because it's been one too many.
In the same vein, an advocate of good governance, Livingstone Wechen, has advised the committee set up by the federal government to address the petrol situation to see their duty as a national emergency. Wechen said this while speaking on his expectations for the committee headed by President Buhari.
Though long overdue, must be handled as a national emergency, particularly now that Mr. President has woken up to sit on the driver's seat. He should sit properly and steer the ship and must not allow this committee to remain in the hands of puppets. The issues outlined to be addressed. The president, if there is anything he should leave behind now that has remained an anathema to Nigerians, is to address the fuel lingering crisis.
He urged the committee to expose those behind the current petrol scarcity in the country.
Those who are in government who are collaborating with independent marketers should be fished out, because this is more like a person who is trying to fight corruption. Most of those who are involved and have been masterminding this artificial scarcity that has crippled the economy of Nigeria are the same people in government, some of whom may also be members of this committee. So the president should handle this in a statesmanly disposition with patriotic zeal to do just this one thing for Nigerians.
which he also called on the Rivers State government to replicate the same.
And then states should also borrow a leaf from what the president has done. The governors should take a cue by establishing depots across the various states. There is no business that private individuals can do that states as governments are precluded. State governments can own oil companies, they can build refineries, they can build depots. They should make investments and expand the frontier so that this product that comes from our backyard here in the Niger Delta will not now be coming from Niger and other African countries.
As you may know, the federal government, in its bid to tackle the nationwide petrol scarcity, yesterday set up a 40-man steering committee on petroleum product supply and distribution management to be chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari. In the meantime, legal practitioner Leye Mada has urged relevant government agencies to inform the public on any price increase of petrol in the country. He told correspondent to Buruwari they are empowered by law to do so.
The Petroleum Pricing and Regulation Agency, Petroleum Regulation Act, is responsible for that. The current prices as it stands now strictly violates the provisions of that act. That where there are issues as to petroleum prices, the people to be informed, adequate notice must be given, and the reason for the increase in the price must be given. This is a situation where we are on every agency responsible for the regulation of petroleum prices. They have to join.
And when that one has been released from the state CID, Port Harcourt, where he was transferred to. Success Bassi, who was arrested and touched by the River State Police Command on the 5th of December 2022, narrating what led to his correspondent that is a former employee, the wife of Justice Bright Demois, whom he said sponsored his arrest and extrajudicial torture.
Just arrest me at the NPA, took me to Minokoro police station, asked me whether I know what Mr. Moa, a pastor I know. They say, who is him? I say, he was this. They say, I go and bring his cars. Yeah, I get car. I'm robber enter his house, break the house, carry the keys and took us away from the man. Since the day that I've never go around Mr. Bright Demois, they now torture me, beat me, all kind of beating, every day hanking. People that be arrested that time, they know I'm passing through, every night hanking.
Success said regained his freedom in the streets. Biometric showed he was not involved in the robbery.
Man bring people from Lagos to come and do my fingerprint from where the incident happened. They went there and checked the people with whole hand. Man, they are left to enter the house. They now check all the fingerprint, my own and their own. I didn't have it with them. They go to empty, calling my two lines, empty and go and open my call registers. Check, I don't have a contact or any wrong call. They come to station and congratulate me that this man is a free man. They released me yesterday.
Now, he said his health is deteriorating and appealed to the state government to come to his aid.
My wife is pregnant. My wife can deliver any time now. My condition now, I cannot walk. I can't hold anything in my hand. I cannot stand. Let the whole world see. Let the government of Rivers State see. I want people to come to my help. I can't do anything as I need help. I cannot walk. I cannot stand. I can't hold anything. All my inner part, all my part of my body is condemned with one sickness that they cause with it, which I contact from the cell. I cannot wear anything. All my private part is leaking water as I'm talking to you people now. Anything. My stomach is swelling up. I want the whole world to help me.
Recorder, the coordinator of the River State Response Team Ireland against and children buried Democratic and called on River State Commission to omit an unconditional release of Success Bass to his family, or they will take legal against the police. And in another development, the National Judicial Council has recommended the appointment of heads of courts and 80 for the judicial office. A statement by the NJC Director of Information, Soji Oye, said the candidates were present for recommendations by its panel of interviewers presented over by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Lukaide Arewola. The statement noted that recommended persons were the actual appointment of the federal and state high court country. Elsewhere, stakeholders in the education sector have called for proper use of communication in the development of Nigeria. They made a call at the 23rd Annual International Conference of African Council for Communication Education, ACCE, held at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oyo State. In a speech, the now president of ACCE, Professor Nnamdi Azikiwe, said Nigeria's technology innovation is most prominent. The
is supposed to interrupt the place of science, technology, and innovation, including the measures in the revolution of Nigeria's security, food, health, environmental, as well as economic crisis. This seeks to examine the dimensions in which journalism, broadcast, new media, public relations, and communication, education, and research interface with STIs to enact a remediation of development.
Also, Chairman of the event and Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academics, Professor Chinua Okuna, said the theme of the conference is apt considering the challenges faced by the country across all spheres.
now. You see, in times of error, current distress, and pandemic, it's everywhere. Poverty everywhere. Employment must deliberately select leader at the national level who can do all these things. It's not a matter of ethnicity, it's not a matter of religion, capacity. This country is second. Looking for somebody who can result it, and you have to look very carefully.
Our correspondent reports that the theme of the conference is communicating science, technology, and innovation in times of economic distress, terror, and pandemic. Well, the news, the Governor Shikanji of the RBS Professor Elias Ukode, my son, Dr. Uche Igne Chikeze, said he died this morning at National Hospital, straight around what the news stated. And the government has warned that it will no longer allow shutdown 48 hours aviation workers under the aegis of air transport employees. Airport Service Senior Association of Nigeria and Air Transport Service Senior Staff Association of Nigeria caused a massive flight disruption nationwide. Workers that have not been told this. Just Nigerians for the inconvenience caused by strike. Minister of Aviation will not price for aviation workers around the port because not only the aviation operator will serve, but
and now the business news.